Okay guys, so this is part 2 of the new Pokemon reveal for Pokemon Heaven and Hell. So basically, last time we covered all the main areas, now we're going to do the subdivisions and endgame areas. So next Pokemon is Psychoil. This one's Steel and Psychic, and it's a little robot. Its signature move is Scan, where it will scan the opponent, and it has a 62% accuracy rate. And for the other 38%, it'll just do nothing. If it hits, then it'll decrease the Pokemon's defense by 1 stage. The area you find it in is Mud Town, and its property is traversal. So basically, when you activate its effect, it will basically go around, like scanning the buildings, and it can see through walls. And basically, it will look for buildings with treasure. If it sees treasure, then it will report back to you. If not, then it will keep searching. And it doesn't have a paradox, because, there's only one of these in the world. And then there's Toy Tang. He's a fairy and psychic type, and he's a little toy monkey with syllables. Hence why his signature move is... not syllables, symbols. Hence why his signature move is Hyper Voice, because he keeps making noise. The area he appears in is Mud Town, in one of the shops, specifically the toy shop. And his evolution is Clang Ape, because he's an ape that clangs using these clashing symbols. And his paradox is the Iron Kara, which is basically derived from the Greek word, which I think is like sound or something. Well, either way, he becomes more powerful and his sounds become louder. Then we've got Golem, who is a new Pokemon who's kind of like a mud golem. So he's ground and ghost, because ghoul, ghost. Signature move is Rock Slide, which is one of the rock moves turned ground because we removed rock type. And the area is Mud Town, and the paradox is the Ivy Guard, because he kind of grows some ivy. Instead of being ground and ghost, he becomes ground and grass. So now we move on to the Acid Factory Pokemon. So we've got Majorana, which is like another form of Magikarp, although it's more like a variant, kind of like how Wiglet was a variant of Diglett in Scarlet and Violet. So he's Steel and Poison because he swims around in acid, and he's a robot. His signature move is Lifesteal. Wait, that's an atomic move. But there's actually 2 different Lifesteal moves. There's the atomic Lifesteal, which is more powerful, but also the poison one. So shoot a little poison pellet and it'll steal some defense and add it. The atomic one steals a random stat and some HP. So this is like a less powerful version of the atomic one. And fun fact, this was actually meant to be an atomic and poison, but then we changed it to steel poison because there are way too many atomic type Pokemon in the Acid Factory. Oh yeah, his area is the Acid Factory. His evolution is Mectra, which is a version of a new form of Magikarp in this game called Matra. And it's like a new Pokemon that kind of resembles a Tetra, which is a fish that you'll find in the Amazon River that's from the same family as a piranha. And the paradox is the goo lurker, because it lurks in goo, but now it becomes more of like some sort of predatorial fish. And it also gains something similar to an anglerfish, although instead of being a natural bulb, it's actually a light bulb that's fitted onto it to fit in with the whole mechanical theme. Oh yeah, and he also becomes fairy and poison and steel. Then there's Stuffit, which is the doll Pokemon. its type is Ghost, and its signature move is a new one called Spirit Shot, where basically it will shoot this weird purple aura and deal some damage, and also it has this cool effect. The area is the Acid Factory. Its paradox is the Wooded Rose, because it's a rose made of wood, obviously, and instead of being just Ghost, it's Ghost and Grass. And this is the second one, which is Typing Stone compatible. So yeah, by changing it, you can change like its type, but also the changes are the color of its eyes and the color of the dress. So usually when it's in its regular form, it will be a purple dress with the ghost type symbol, but when you change it, it will basically become a different coloured dress with the matching type symbol, which I'd say is pretty cool if you ask me. Okay, then we've got Regitomic. So does anyone remember Registeel? I sure as hell didn't, but yeah, I decided to add more of the Regi line. So Regitomic is atomic and steel, and he's like this mech which has like barrels of nuclear waste attached to its back. Its signature move is World Ender, where it basically shoots a bunch of nukes. The area is the Acid Factory. Its evolutions are Nukador, where it kind of gains more nukes, and Gigatomic, which is like basically the whole thing basically becomes like a giant storing space for nuclear warheads. And its paradox is the Barrel's Barrage, where it kind of throws the steel type out the window and just replaces it with ground. Because now he kind of gains like wooden barrels, which can shoot out missiles and stuff. Then we've got Kengar's Yard with Graven. So his type is ground and grass, because he's kind of like a golem with a grave, and he's always holding flowers, hence why it's grass instead of something like ghost or poison. His signature move is Burial Ground, where basically he'll do a slam which buries the Pokemon. Kind of like the Pitfall item from Smash, but a bit more deadly. Its area is Gengar's Yard, because that area is a graveyard. Its evolution is Crossix, which adds a cross to the gravestone and also makes it like a bit more tough. And then the paradox is the Dirt Mane, where basically a bunch of dirt and worms come and give it a mane, and it also gets access to the move Worm Whip, which is also given to some other Pokemon like the grass starter Vinyl and also Tangela. Then there's Amanek, which is a combination of different parts of the Greek words for blood and dead, hence why it's called the Blood Pokemon. So his types are Dark and Poison. His signature move is Bloodshot, which is a dark type move where he just shoots a blob of blood. Kind of like Sludge Bomb, but not as good. His area is Gengar's Yard, and the paradox is the Liquid Spikes, where basically it becomes this weird amalgamation, almost like some sort of icy spike creature combined with Clayface from Batman, but dyed red. Then there's Ghostosaur. Types are Poison and Ghost. Signature move, Sludge Roar, which is a new move where basically it's like Sludge Bomb, but also combined with another move we made, Torrential Roar. Area is Gengar's Yard. Evolutions are Poltasaur, which is like a poltergeist, and Malisaur, which is like malice. And its paradox is the Great Fang, because it gains like lots of fangs. Then we've got the next one, Crazog. Type is Bone, because it's like a bone dog. Signature move is Off the Leash, where it's basically like the bone type version of Play Rough, where basically it goes off his leash, runs forward with his two stubby legs, and then basically does what Play Rough does. Like biting, scratching, kicking, all that stuff, until the Pokemon suffers damage. Area is the Bonelands. Its evolution is Ropug, where it becomes kind of like more like a pug, and it also becomes more powerful. And the Paradox is the Iron Wheelie, where it scraps the legs for a wheel, and also makes the body more shiny, like almost making it out of rhodium, which makes sense because rhodium's similar to Rhodes, and this takes place in Greece. Then we've got Wawo, the Oasis Pokemon. It's a water and grass type because it lives in water and it has seaweed as hair. Signature move is also seaweed, where basically it whips the opponent with its seaweed hair. Its area is the Bonelands because it's a mesa and there's an oasis. And the Paradox is the Great Sprout, where basically the seaweed turns into like kind of coral. Oh yes, speaking of coral. Oh wait, no. Next we've got a legendary, Bondregan. So its types are Dragon and Bone, although it kind of flies through the air because it has like bone wings. Signature move is Stab, where basically it stabs the opponent with a spike from its tail. Its area is the Bonelands, and the Paradox is the Screaming Jaw, where basically it gains like 2 more heads and extra pairs of wings, and it also gets a much better jawline. Then we've got the Rocky Shore. Now actually, I did say in the Welcome to Otala presentation that this is the area with the most Pokemon, so that's why I'm doing 5 reveals instead of 3. So Corlunk, the junk Pokemon. Its types are Water, Bone, and Fairy. Signature move is Clutter, where basically it throws a bunch of random junk. This is one of the new Fairy type moves, and it's one of my personal favourites. The area is the Rocky Shore. Evolutions include Clutterreef and Seabridge, where basically the clutter grows bigger as the coral grows, and the Paradox is the Scattered Guardian, where it becomes like this coral man type thing, and it has a bunch of clutter as like arms and stuff. Then we've got Rukui, the penguin Pokemon. Type is normal. Signature move is Tail Whip, but in this case it's a spin. Area is Rocky Shore. Evolutions are Pengum and Macri, which are like more penguins. Paradox is the Trick Tripper, where it becomes more clumsy, but kinda also evil. Oh yeah, this is a very clumsy Pokemon. And then it's Typing Stone compatible, so basically it will basically change it, because it's kind of similar to a rock hopper penguin, so little macaroni bits become kind of like suited to fit the type. Then we've got Corroside. Types are Steel and Poison. Signature move is Oxidation, where it causes the Pokemon to oxidize over time, and basically it takes away HP. But it does it slowly. Area is Rocky Shore, and Paradox is the Iron Sail, because, fun fact, this is actually found near boat wreckages, this Pokemon. Then we've got Regiclam, another member of the Regi family. So basically, its type is Bone. Its signature move is Preservation, where basically it will harden and heal some HP, and it will also buff the defense. Area is Rocky Shore. Evolution is Regicoral, where basically some coral grows around the clam, and it also gains grass type, even though coral's like a sea plant, but who cares. Then the Paradox is the Jelly Star. Then Predark, which is the shark Pokemon. Type is Water. Signature move is Torrential Roar, the water type move I alluded to. Area is Rocky Shore. The Paradox is the Megadonti. Dante basically means jaw. It's also good because Megadonti kind of sounds like Megalodon. Then there's Paramore, the permafrost Pokemon. Types are Ice and Bone. Signature move is Preservation again. Area is Frostburn Peak, and the Paradox is the Land Roamer. Then there's Magmarv. Types of Fire and Ground. Signature move Flare Counter, where it basically counters an attack using flames. Area is Frostburn Peak, and the Paradox is the Golem King. Then Cryopyro. Types Fire and Ice. Signature moves for each types: Ember and Ice Blast. Ice Blast is basically like an icy version of Ember. You can find it in a lot of Typing Stone compatible Pokemon. Area is Frostburn Peak. Evolutions are Fyric and Pyro Snow. And the Paradox is the Great Tail, where its tail becomes longer and it becomes more deadly. Okay, now we're on to Hell. So Kymore, the Chimera Pokemon. Types are Fire and Poison. Signature move is Scorching Sneak, where basically it will dash through the Pokemon a couple times and then pounce them. Its area is Hell. Evolution is Miramar, where it's kind of like a bigger, tougher version of Kymore. Then the Paradox is the Fusion main, because it's kind of like fused animals, and it also has a big mane. Then Brackish. Type is Ground. Signature move is Fortification, which is a new move where basically it will increase defense, kind of like metal armor. Area is Hell. Special property is Traversal, because it allows you to travel across lava and swim up lava falls and stuff. And Paradox is None. Then Coprin. So its types are Steel and Fire. Signature move is Pyro Slash, where it slashes with its fiery sword. Area is Hell. Paradox is the Element main. And this one's actually a Pokemon Hell exclusive. There's a Pokemon Heaven exclusive, which I'll get to soon, but just know that this can only be found in Pokemon Hell. Then we've got Salis. It's a Ground and Ice type. Signature move is Stone Slinger, just like Big Shoot. Its area is Mount Arceus. Special property is Traversal, where it lets you climb up walls using its claws, and the Paradox is None. Then we've got Punch. So its types are Ice and Fighting, because it's kind of like a fighting wolf. Signature move is Ice Punch. Area is Mount Arceus. Evolutions are Dugar and Wolfex. Wolfex is quite powerful because he's kind of like the alpha, if you get what I mean. Then the Paradox is the Street Warrior, where it gains kind of icy streaks in its fur and just becomes more powerful and icy. Then we've got Kandri, the Canister Pokemon. So the types are Steel and Flying. Signature move is Charge, where basically it will use a propeller to kind of charge at the opponent because it can fly. Area is Mount Arceus, and its special property is Traversal. So you need this to get to Heaven, and also traverse across Heaven, because Heaven's like a cloud network. And wherever he can be used, you can use him to fly. And his Paradox is None. Okay, now we've got the final stretch, the Heaven Pokemon. Then we've got Centunax, the Angel Pokemon. Type is Fairy. Signature move is Spirit Break. Area is Heaven, and the Paradox is the Iron Low, where basically it becomes more powerful and just gets more abilities. Then we've got Seamark, probably my favourite new Pokemon. He's the Chicken Caesar Pokemon. I definitely didn't get that from anywhere. He's a chicken with Chicken Caesar decorations and a chest plate. Type is Fairy once again. Signature move is Salad Shot, where he shoots a bunch of salad, obviously. Area you find him in is Heaven, because Chicken Caesar is heavenly in terms of taste. And the Paradox is the Gold Guard, where he becomes a Roman guard. Then finally, We have Goldark. His types are Steel and Electric. Signature move is Electro Slash, where he slashes using his electric sword. Area is Heaven. Paradox is the Element main, and this is a Pokemon Heaven exclusive. So he's the swordsman in it's the swords fighter in Pokemon Heaven, whereas Coppin's the sword fighter in Pokemon Hell. So yeah, that wraps up the presentation. Hope you all enjoyed it. Bye.